It's Friday evening, which means you sit back, you crack open a cold one, and you have a little think about what you're going to do for the rest of the weekend. It's good times. And for me, it isn't so much about what I'm going to do this weekend, it's about what I'm going to do first, because all three of my cars have decided to play up. Starting with, unsurprisingly, the Lotus. Now, a few weeks ago I said the Elan was finished. If I ever say anything like that again, please come around and slap me hard, because I have lost my senses. Its latest development is that it won't start when it's hot. Now, I've gone over the car and I've driven it a fair bit last week, and I'm pretty sure it's not electrical, so I think it's a fuel problem. But before I start tearing into the fuel system, I'm going to replace the coolant temperature sensor. I actually have one. I got one as part of my spare parts package a few months ago, and I never installed it. So I'm going to start with that, just to make sure that the car is getting the right information when it's hot, and make sure that the ECU is getting the right info. So that might solve my problem. I don't think it will, because it's never that simple, but I'll give it a go anyway. So that's job one. And the other thing I need to do with the Elan is I need to put a remote release for the boot in this thing. There's no remote release inside in the car, so every time you open the boot you've got to stick a key in it, and there's no storage in the car, so pretty much everything goes in the boot, and frankly it's annoying me. So I did it with the Colt. I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to put an actuator and a relay in there and figure out how I'm going to make the whole thing work. So that I'm actually looking forward to, because that's one of those things that improves the car. So that'll be the Elan. The Colt is running brilliantly, and actually my wife has started to use this in preference to the Mini, because she finds it easier to drive and it's got a much softer, smoother ride. But it makes a terrible clickety sound, which is an indication that the tappets, the hydraulic lifters, are probably on their way out. It's a known problem with this 4G67 engine. So good news is I found a guy who can do me a replacement set for about 100 quid. I just need to get the old ones out first and have a look at them, just to make sure it is that problem. I'm 99% certain it is, but before I order the parts, it makes sense to get the old ones out and make sure that that is the problem. Once that's done, this will be in rude health then, and my wife can go back to driving it every day. The reason she likes driving this is because every time I fix something on the Mini, something else goes wrong. This is a car, a bit like the Elan, that's probably never going to be finished. Its latest maladies include an engine management light and the auxiliary belts screeching like banshees. The engine management light is caused by the O2 sensor, the second O2 sensor on the post-cat side of the exhaust. So I've had to order a new one of those, and naturally there's two sensors. There's one here and there's one here, and it's the lower one that has decided to give up. And the auxiliary belt screeching is caused by the crank pulley, aka the harmonic stabilizer, I think it's called. That has decided to not stabilize anymore, and it wobbles like that, and it has actually thrown the belt off one of the ribs, off one of the teeth. So it's actually rubbing against the side of the engine. That's what's causing the screeching. So that needs to be replaced. So about 100 quid in parts in the Mini, about 100 quid for the Colt. The Elan, fortunately, I already have the part I need. It's not going to fix it, but I'm going to put it in anyways. So not only is it going to be a busy weekend, it's also gotten a little bit expensive.